What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Eugene. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be an Octonauts video, which is absolutely great because the last Octonauts video I made was last year, with the exception of some shorts. But yeah, this is the first full-length Octonauts video of 2025. Ever since the Octonauts show signed a deal with Netflix, they have been pumping out some Octonauts content, that including the two movies, Caves of Sac Actun and Ring of Fire, the Great Barrier Reef musical special extended episode, and of course the Above and Beyond spin-off series. Today I'm going to be ranking the Octonauts movies, Sac Actun, Great Barrier Reef, and Ring of Fire, and also give my thoughts on all three specials as we rank. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at number 3, last place, we have, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, Caves of Sac Actun. Look, I have a love-hate relationship with that movie, because on one hand, it's a good movie. Not great if you haven't heard of Octonauts or don't have any knowledge of Octonauts, but on the other hand, well, it's just that, did this movie have to exist, or did that plot have to be a whole movie? The plot is Barnacles and Peso have to take Koba, the little baby octopus, home back to the Caribbean after being a patient in a sick bay for a few weeks. And as much as I would love to dig deep into the plot more, unfortunately, that's all it's going for. The plot is taking a creature home. That's just the most basic thing to put in a show like Octonauts. It's just so basic. When the Gup H breaks down, they have to take the long way to the Caribbean, which is the cenote of the Caves of Sac Actun. It just feels so contrived. Like, what if the Gup H didn't break down and it was just a smooth ride? Then we wouldn't be having this movie in the first place. And that's exactly why that they had to include all of that filler stuff. We then get introduced to a new character, Ryla the Wombat, who happens to be Dashi's friend. Before she joined the Octonauts, she taught Dashi all about cave diving, and it's really great that Dashi's getting some more spotlight, but arguably she gets more spotlighted Above and Beyond more than she does in this movie, and they don't seem to give her credit for basically putting this mission to an end and fixing everything, and that just kind of annoyed me a little bit, especially as a Dashi stan. I'm like, hello, she helped too. When Barnacle says that Peso is the bravest Octonaut of all, I just kind of cringed, because obviously everyone is brave in their own way. And just to say that it's just one member basically just counts out everyone in the crew, which really disappointed me, and it felt so out of character for Barnacles because he loves each and every one of his crew very much. Heck, even if Quasi and Peso go on missions with him the most, he still doesn't see the others as useless or unimportant, which is also a reason why I dislike this movie. It's because 3 of the Octonauts get sidelined throughout the film. Shellington, Tweak, and Inkling. Inkling you could easily rub off because he doesn't go on missions. And the Vegetables you could also rub off because they don't go on missions either. But Shellington and Tweak, why did they have to push them to the side? Sure, they helped, but most of the time they are just sitting on the Gup and doing nothing. They're not that active in the plot, and that is just really disappointing. Like, why you gotta do Shellington and Tweak like that? Especially since their roles are very important. And so to just push them to the side, basically trying to prove Barnacles' point that Peso is the greatest, bravest Octonaut of all time is just absolutely frustrating, and it completely undermines everything that Octonauts stands for. The whole cave adventure, that could have just been an episode on its own. And also people say that they like this movie because it humanizes Barnacles. It does. But to say that you like the movie just because it humanizes Barnacles is kind of lame, because it's just like, that's one part of the movie. When I first saw that scene, like, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it either. Octonauts has had some dark shit. Hello. Octonauts is not afraid to throw in some dark shit every now and then, but I didn't think they'd go this far. Like, I didn't even know that they could pull something like that. I do appreciate how they humanized barnacles in this one. But then I also feel like that could have been an episode on its own. I didn't feel like they had to do a whole movie about it, especially since it wasn't affecting the plot. Oh, and something else, I kind of expected Ryla to be a villain or an antagonist. I was kind of expecting a gotcha moment from Ryla. Congratulations, you fell into my trap. I mean, yeah, it would be cliche, but it would introduce the concept of villains in Octonauts or antagonists. One more thing I have to nitpick at. Are the Vegemals really that dumb? Why is Gruber, the purple one, going on and on and on about a mango? The Vegemals are cute, but they're not stupid. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go blow off some steam. My gosh, this is... Okay, back to business. At number 2, we have the Great Barrier Reef musical special. This special extended episode is 40 minutes long instead of the usual 20 or 22. Where is the Great Barrier Reef album on Apple Music or Spotify? Like, where is it? Where is it? Wait, I need to know. Is it only available in the UK? Because if so, hello, the US fans, we're right here. We're over here waiting for the album release so we can stream it and it can get a lot of revenue. So we can continue the series because we love it so much. No, seriously, where is it? Creature from the Briny Blue is my favorite song from that special. It's sung by Quasi, and basically it's a rehash of his scary stories. I do love this smooth jazz vibe and his movement, the way he moves to the choreography. Some of the songs, like the one with the coral mound, are kind of unnecessary. Trouble on the Reef, the song is about how he's always looking out for trouble on the reef, but after that song, we don't see that mound coral until the epic dramatic battle, and he doesn't fulfill the thing that he was just singing about. So that was kind of disappointing that they did nothing with the mound coral. And also the setup was kind of weird because half of the Octonauts don't show up until like Act 2. And also, not all of them get to sing. I mean, sure, they sing as a chorus, but I would have loved an individual song for all of them. Quasi and Peso are the only ones who get to sing. And even Barnacles, but he gets to sing like once. Oh, and don't even get me started on his new singing voice. I don't want to send any hate to Simon Foster. His singing voice does not fit Barnacles. And I think it's funny how Barnacles is singing this epic war anthem, this epic war, justice, peace anthem, but it's really hard to take him seriously when he's singing in that voice, that it comes off as more funny and a joke than empowering. We're gonna defeat the enemy by sweet temptation, desserts. The songs were the only thing that was keeping me up and interested. Like every time a song came on, I was like, oh, thank God. But I also forgot that I was watching Octonauts for a second because the speaking and the plot are just so boring. And also, I kind of thought because it was a musical, they were gonna throw in some musical references. I do wish that they did that because that would make the episode 10 times better. It would still be boring because they had to rely on the references to make it look good, but like anything good is anything redeemable. I mean, imagine if Tweek and Dashi were doing a Wicked reference. Tweek as Elphaba and Dashi as Glinda. Or even throw in a Cats reference for Quasi. Put in some West Side Story, Phantom of the Opera. Heck, you could even put in Hamilton. At least, make it kid-friendly. Starting to imagine how that would be like. Oh, that's... We fight for the reef. Me, I died for the reef. Me, I trusted the reef. Me, I loved the reef. And me, I'm the damn fool that shot the reef. What's your name, man? Crown of thorns, starfish. We were robbed. Oh, oh, it could have been good. It could have been great. So it's all gonna come down to the number one pick. And there's only one left, so I might as well announce it without any surprise. The Ring of Fire movie. Now the reason why Ring of Fire is number one is not only because it's a great Octonauts movie, but a great movie, period. Like, even if you don't have any knowledge of Octonauts, it's still a really great movie and it's extremely interesting. And the stakes of this movie are absolutely like above standards, above Octonauts standards. The Ring of Fire actually being a major threat to the creatures and also the Octonauts themselves. And we also get to see the Octonauts not just as characters who are tackling the plot, but also as people. We get to explore their personalities a bit more. Technically, you do need some knowledge about the Octonauts to understand some aspects of the movie. But what I think is the greatest point about this movie is that every Octonaut gets to be the main character. When every character gets to show off and be their own person, that is the definition, the meaning of Octonauts and being a found family. And how in the final act, it takes the entire team working together with their personal strengths to tackle the Ring of Fire and rescue all of the sea creatures. And that's why Ring of Fire is not only one of the greatest Octonauts projects of all time, but one of the greatest movies of all time. Okay, I think that is all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the meantime, be sure to check out my new single, Angel. It's out on all streaming platforms. It's a song about love. It's a love song. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, this is your girl Eugen signing off. Peace.
I need your love. Give me that, give me that, give me all your loving. Give me that, give me that, give me all your loving.
Oh, it's not enough.
Not enough, not enough, give me more of your loving.